Sorry about that. I pushed go live and realized I didn't feed the cats. So, morning. I I I pushed go live and I was like, "Fuck, I forgot to feed the cats." So I had to like run in there and fucking feed the cats. I wanted to make sure I did everything but clock in for work, you know what I mean? So, sorry. I woke up this morning, tried to get some shit done. So this is again, this is Justice's Waiting Room. It's a daily live podcast where we discuss news and politics. And I'm a socialist. So hey, I just want everyone to have universal health care, education, income, and housing. And our show starts the same every time. Instead of playing a song on my computer and making you listen to it, I'm just gonna put a link to Edwin Starr's original music video from 1969 for the song "War," and I listened to it as well. I like the message of the song, but I also love the horn section. I played trombone, um, and obviously Edwin Starr is immensely talented and a black man. And anytime I can support that someone that don't look like me, I'm gonna try to fucking do that shit. What's up, Crush? Is it good for? Absolutely not. That was my morning roll call for school. Love it. Come on, JoJo. What up, Crystal? Love her. CC. Spire. What is it good for? Absolutely not. Well, I think one the first thing that I want to make very public. Um, it was great. I mean, I'm a change agent like everywhere I go. So I actually I one of the things is like I want to talk. I've been told my whole life like let other people fucking talk. And I started a fucking job yesterday and I literally was like this the whole time. Like I want to let me talk last. And at the very end of class, um there was like 15 minutes left, and he cut us loose. And this guy's like former army. He's in the army for like 8 years, and it's a class full of veterans and like people with executive level experience and shit. Like, um, and so we're sitting there talking because, like I said, this is the highest paying job I've ever had in my life, right? So you expect the talent level to be a little fucking higher in the rooms you walk in. And of course, this room's full of people. Indianapolis. Yeah, I'm in Lawrence. Um, so I tried not to talk. I tried not to make myself the focal point of the audience. I have an audience, right? Like I have something that I do, right? So like in a team function, I can just let other people kind of let their ebb and flow kind of eke into the ecosystem, and I can kind of interject and pick my spots. It's like I'm a prize fighter, right? Like I'm not really trying to get in here and like duke it out and throw jabs and shit. I'm just trying to set up for a big haymaker, right? So at the end of class, he went to cut us loose like 15 minutes early. And I thought he had let us go. Like, I'm going to give you the next 15 minutes. Go ahead and go home. And I said, hey, I just want to say something to everybody before they leave. Uh, because it's for everybody's first day and everybody's feeling real anxious. And I just wanted to take away some of your anxiety. And I told my teacher, and I want you to correct me when I'm wrong. But my best friend works for this company, and he just hit his 90 days on the floor. And he called me a couple weeks ago crying because he paid $7,500 in taxes. Okay, that was more than we were getting fucking paid, and that's a monthly check. So that check was like a 25 plus $1,000 fucking monthly check. Like real American dollars. Swear to God on my mom. So if you had any questions about is this a job where you can make money? Fuck yeah. And he's also a customer. And I explained to them how the program works. And I said, look at the rules that they told us what the rules of their program were. But I explained that my best friend had $54,000 in unsecured debt, paying like $1,800 a month, and went through their fucking program, and that 54,000 is now 21,000. So they negotiated his debt in more than half and took the payment from an unmanageable like 1,800 fucking dollars a month. Who can fucking afford that? To 400 bucks. And it'll be paid off in full in 4 years. And people, here's the thing. Here's the thing. As much as y'all have sat here and listened to me talk, you know what I can say confidently? I got all the way through all of that, and not one person had left the class. They were all like, and my teacher didn't, instructor didn't have them like that. The guy teaching the fucking class, he didn't have people's attention like that. Where I was like, I have people that already work for the company, are already doing this job, are already getting fucking paid. And keep in mind, this is debt resolution. This is the cleanest fucking thing. I'm like, it's FDIC. It's fucking like, wow, this is a real deal. Holyfield, like, super high close rate, super high retention rate. Once you enroll them, they're enrolled, and then all they have to do is keep doing business with us. And here's your program. Yeah. Yeah. Zero interest. They charge a fee, and then they just tell you up front what it costs. Here's what it costs. Here's what it costs. It's less than you're paying now. We're going to reduce your debt, reduce your payment. This is what that is. Like, oh, fucking awesome. That's the only path out for most people. I remember how I always talk about the path forward. Remember how I always talk about the path forward? Like when COVID hit, and I started helping people with their Medicare and Medicaid, it was because I was like, who is going to be the most negatively impacted during COVID? Poor people. Poor people are going to be fucking negatively impacted when a natural disaster strikes. Your speaker's rubbing on your hood. So yeah, sorry, sorry. I'll fucking keep it moving, doggy. Look at this shit. I gotta have this little weird tilt to my shit to like get it just right. Yeah, Cece, appreciate you, fam. I'm glad you're in there. People, look at what Cece's saying. It ain't just me in here singing to my from my fucking dinner. Okay, there's people that have gone through the program that are like, yo, that's fucking dope as fuck. I've done that. For me, I could tell you, I had a Capital One card. A five. Why? Fortunately for me, it does not take me very long to learn my lesson. Okay, I know. Debt is exploding. People are fucking having to take debt. For the record, don't take on secured debt. Like take unsecured debt so you could like get out from under it. I know it sounds like bad advice, but it's like secured debt. You can't get help for that. So if you ever get a secured fucking loan, just know you're on the hook for that bitch. Like, hey, dead ass. If I tell you anything and it goes in here and it stays in this hole, hey, secured debt is hard to get help with. Just so I put that out there into the universe. Okay. And that does not mean I'm advocating for you taking on unsecured debt. I am, as opposed to taking on secured debt, which you can never fucking get rid of. And that, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so the first thing I want to talk to you about today is censorship and a clear violation of our First Amendment rights. Um, Mark Zuckerberg and the CEO of TikTok and Elon Musk are full blown censoring you. When you go on Instagram, Facebook, IG, and you search for left leaning terms, they don't exist and there aren't search results. That's what I'm hearing. I don't have those tools installed on my phone anymore. So if 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 you are still using Meta tools, I encourage you to go look up Democrats, go look up democracy, go look up freedom, right? Go look your search terms up. Same thing on TikTok. Okay? When you go on TikTok, it's not the same algorithm. It's not this, you're not being showed the same people anymore. Even on your following, even on your for you, shit has changed. I'm not here's what I'll tell you. I never was a fan of Mark Zuckerberg. So yeah, and I can also say I wasn't a fan of Elon, but I was on Twitter before Elon. You get what I'm saying? Like they've made these places not cool anymore. And I don't know about you, but when a place isn't cool, I don't want to be in that place that's not cool anymore. So I'm going to be on YouTube live, streaming every morning. I have no reason not to do it. I have time. I have a job, so it's not like I'm tied to it and like have to do it because it pays. No, I can do it because I have a day job. Okay? So I want you to know, the first thing I would want you to know is get the fuck off of Meta tools. No Facebook, no Threads, no IG. Get Facebook Messenger off of your fucking phone. Get it off of your phone. Hey, I am at Purdue University studying data analytics, and I'm currently taking a class in data governance, which is like the management of information. How about that for fucking timely, given what's going on right now? Okay? When it gets hard for you to do what you want to do on an application you've been doing what you want to do on, it's time to move on. Okay? I've been telling you, get on Blue Sky. Okay? I don't post like I used to. You know what I mean? When I was a younger man, I'd get in there and tussle. I got shit going on, man, and I'm trying to keep a good job and shit, right? So what I would advise is if you're like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, who's this person that I follow that I listen to in the morning? Here is my name, and you can find me on Blue Sky. Okay. I have about 1,800 followers. It says my pronouns that I'm a current high school football coach in Indianapolis, Indiana, and I study Purdue analytics. Um, yeah, everybody's got ostrich parasitic syndrome. So if you're wondering why um, people have seemingly stuck their head in the sand and are kind of not wanting to talk, it's because there's this theory that Gad Sad has about how in denial people are. It's akin to ostrich parasitic syndrome. And what happens in the ostrich is they'll get a parasite in their brain, and it'll cause them to go fucking crazy. And the only way they can get this fucking parasite out of their brain is to bury their head in the sand until they suffocate. So it's people's ostrich parasitic syndrome, like the ostrich, like the bird, parasitic syndrome. Look it up. Ostrich parasitic syndrome. People, it's like we have the same thing. It's like you have this thing in your head, right? You have this this parasite in your brain. We call it doubt, right? Um, so yeah, that's the first thing I want to make sure I tell you is that your First Amendment rights are being violated on Meta tools, on TikTok. I'm not posting original content made for the internet on TikTok anymore. My content on TikTok will be aimed at attacking the oligarchy and trying to convert my audience to YouTube. I'm not going to give me to the feds. I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm not going to give me to the oligarchs. I'm not giving me to the billionaires. Okay? So you aren't going to find me giving myself to billionaires. Okay? I'll be on Clapper, where Edison Chin is the CEO. That's a young man. Okay? A young Asian American man. And then we're on YouTube, whose CEO is Larry Page, who's the CEO of Alphabet Inc., and who is a good and ethical company. And I think YouTube actually is the last bastion of free speech. I think places like Clapper, yeah, you're going to have to do it everywhere. They're going to infiltrate every facet of society and understand that they are no champion. They are no champion. They are no hero. And they just want to be martyred because they have no legacy. See, here's the thing about that I've realized about most people, particularly agitators and antagonists, is that otherwise they have no legacy, or they otherwise have soiled their legacy. I mean, think about all those people that were there for Donald Trump yesterday. All those billionaires. They weren't there for Donald Trump. They were there for themselves. And in the moment that Donald Trump took that oath, he committed the ultimate crime. Yes. Yes, the thing about it is you don't want to use Google Chrome. It's just a heavy browser, that's all. Yeah, Blue Sky also has lists like auto block lists and auto add lists. So you could just just like Major Cats fan said, you can catch a block list that's a good block list for um, Blue Sky. But it's Twitter. It's directly Twitter's direct replacement. Okay. It's in its infancy. The founder of Blue Sky is Jack Dorsey, the guy that founded Twitter. Okay. And then he's gone, and the CEO of Blue Sky is Jay Graber. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. My message this morning was this fight is eternal. If you're familiar with the Infernal Hordes mechanic from Diablo 4, if you have ever played Gears of War and play Horde mode, if you've ever played zombies in Call of Duty, because he's a fucking child, CC. So he was a fourth grader with dementia. And so what he did was he knows some part of his brain knows once I take this oath, I've committed this great crime, this a great atrocity. And him not putting the hand on the Bible that his wife is holding, by the way, that Melania was holding. First of all, he is the Antichrist, right? If you're a Christian and you watch that inauguration and you watch Donald Trump take an oath and not put his hand on the Bible, how could you support him? He is the literal Antichrist. The red hat is the mark of the beast. Look at all the things that he did yesterday. I'm not even religious. And that story's from fucking Left Behind, the book series. I read that shit like 20 fucking years ago. The only thing I want is I don't want him to be martyred. I don't want Elon Musk or Donald Trump to be martyred. I want them tried for their crimes, and I want everyone to know they got caught and they're a punishment for your crimes. And it does, and it does, and the organized uh, theistic religions in the United States are perpetrators of lies. I don't know how anyone could ever support them. Period. Right. Right. But understand, like all the people that support Donald Trump fit in a 20,000 seat arena. And only about half of the people that sat in on that inauguration were for him. I know that you don't believe that way. This isn't an attack on individual Catholics. It's the Catholic Church being the largest landowner in the world, not paying taxes and not housing the poor. So if that offends you as a Catholic, that's a problem. Because I just said what the fucking truth is. The Catholic Church is the largest landowner in the world. They do not pay taxes. They have their own military. They have their own police. Should they have their own police and military? Should they be the largest landowner in the world and not pay taxes? If that's just part of being Catholic, my goodness. My goodness. It would be hard for me to go to the Catholic Church. Don't not every statement is an attack. For some people it is. I'm just going to tell you, Jesus Christ. They took the Constitution off the White House website, and we're arguing about the validity of statements made regarding the Catholic Church. The advise emailing FBI. Fuck yeah. Send them, overload their servers. Overload, and something to think in mind. I want you to keep this in mind. Fucking, yes. Fucking Christopher Wray, W-R-A-Y or R-E-Y, whatever. Fucking Merrick Garland, fucking Jack Smith, fucking Lloyd Austin. They're all out of the way. Donald Trump has been firing people. Joe Biden put in orders of secession. So people fill roles as Donald Trump starts to fire people. And what ultimately happens is he cannot fire everybody. Yeah, Stephen Miller's awful human being. Okay? They took the Constitution off the White House homepage. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Protect yourself. Absolutely. Travel in groups. If I were you, I would get 8 hours of sleep a day. I would take a nap if you feel like you need one. I would hydrate. I would eat right. And I would fucking exercise. And I would go so far as to say most people that start exercising try to do it all in one workout. And I'm here to tell you from the jump, split that up. Split your run and your lift up. And all those things that I've just told you are such sound advice and science that our opponents and our enemies don't do it. Okay? So everything that I've told you, our opponents and our enemies, they don't do. And at its core, if we're gonna fight anyway, why wouldn't I just want to be the better athlete? Why wouldn't I just want to be hydrated, be well rested, be prepared for this fight? Start to grow gardens, look for alternatives for power. That's water, wind, and solar. Don't think about buying a farm. Think about growing a garden. Think about planting trees. Think about putting up a fence. Think about protecting your land. I have pit bulls and a German Shepherd that rove. Okay, so I have big mean dogs, and I'm a big mean guy. They're not gonna bother me. They're gonna try to silence me. The pen is mightier than the sword. The tongue is sharper than any blade. The path through this is not a violent overthrow of the government. That's called communism. I'm telling you, the path forward is not a violent one. It is for one side, and the most straightforward act of violence in I think recent American history would be Elon Musk giving a double Nazi salute and calling it a Roman salute um, indoors at a small crowd of speech where in a friendly audience. And again, there's a reason that the inauguration was moved indoors, and that's for security purposes. And again, I just want to ask everyone: is it the Democrats that you think that are not in a safe spot here? That's cute, Jack. So do you think any tips from the little birdies? No, I mean everything that they've said has been right so far. Hmm. I watched you change, and you like you never. Donald Trump took down reproductiverights.gov. Oh, by the way, one of the things that I heard from last night is Donald Trump started pardoning uh, January Sixers, and those pardons aren't being honored because those are state crimes. So keep in mind, Donald Trump's off to a hell of a start, being really destructive and shit, being really fucking destructive. Yep. Just showing you exactly who the fuck he is, isn't he? Isn't he just showing you exactly who the fuck he is? Just remember, I told you, Christopher Wray, Merrick Garland, Lloyd Austin, they already stepped down. He can't fire them for being disloyal now. All the shit that's rolling downhill towards Donald Trump, nobody can help you. Oh, I have no doubts it's DOJ. Uh, yeah, just what Vladimir Putin wants, man. It's like I said, all of this was gonna happen. It's definitely the darkest 24 hour period in American history in my eyes. I have no doubts. So understand that I have a feeling. Are you ready for this? I have a feeling they could have moved the inauguration. I'm gonna say it again. I read the 20th Amendment. I've read other documents tied to the 20th Amendment, and I think they could have made this happen on another day. Okay? And so when I know that this didn't have to happen on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, I know that Donald Trump wanted it to happen yesterday. And that makes it super fucking hurtful is that they could have just moved it to another day. But it had to happen yesterday. And I think they were either planning a paramilitary coup, or they were just going to go through with it. And I think that Elon Musk taking that oath made it all a crime, and Elon Musk coming out and giving the Nazi salute was meant to distract you from the fact that Donald Trump had gone up and taken the oath and thus had actually gone through with it. And a thing about it, yeah, of course he did it on purpose. No, no, no. I want to have it on a federal holiday, on Martin Luther King Jr.'s day. Yes, I want to do that. That's Donald Trump. Now, the thing about it is they moved that to the U.S. Capitol Rotunda, and it wasn't Donald Trump's choice. So I just want to make sure, because Donald Trump will try to control the narrative and say he requested to move it to the U.S. Capitol Rotunda because of weather. That's not fucking true. So he tried to, everything that man says is a fucking lie. Right. Can you imagine showing up yesterday if you're just going to let it all happen? That's fucking crazy. But the people that showed up had a bear witness, right? Because some of those people are going to be called as witnesses. And you got to remember, Joseph Biden and Kamala Harris are just U.S. citizens now with a lot of classified information in their brain. They know what to do. Now Kamala Harris can get to work as a private citizen. Jesus Christ. Donald Trump rolls back Biden Harris rule that lowers drug costs for millions of Americans. He uh he canceled sanctions on Israeli settlers in the West Bank. He removed Cuba from the U.S. state sponsor terrorism list. He's going to put 25% tariffs on Mexico and Canada by February 1st. Whatever. Come on. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. But again, I maintain that all of the, you had to go through all that yesterday. You had to go through all this shit today. We had to sit through all this and just sit in the mud, man. Just sit in the mud with me and just realize like these are the times. These are absolutely unprecedented fucking times. Um, our free speech is being attacked. Our female friends have lost reproductive freedom. Um, just super wary. Is it wary or weary? I am both. I am wary and weary. I am cautious and careful, which is wary, and I am also weary, like tired and fatigued. Now, when I say tired, I don't mean physically tired. I'm mentally, and it isn't the show. It honestly isn't the show. Just telling you what's going on, it doesn't bother me. I'm reading this shit anyway. I was gonna sit here and fucking look at the fucking news before I go to work. Like, whoa, you know what I mean? That's one of the great things about this show is that it's not faked or forced. I was sitting here fucking doing this before I started going live and talking about it. Stand by. I got a cough. Muted my shit. That's my bad. I was speaking fucking Spanish. You guys just missed that. It was a great bit. I said, ¿Cómo estás? ¿Y tú? And then I said, ¿Cómo se dice? What? ¿Cómo se dice? Tired of this fucking bullshit. I have sound. I muted myself. I muted myself because I had to fucking cough, and then I forgot to unmute myself. My bad, y'all. Goddamn. Like, people are like, you have no volume. I'm leaving. It's like, I fucking muted myself to cough out of respect for you and forgot to unmute myself. My bad, dog. Holy fuck. As I was saying, ¿Cómo estás? Y tú? Maybe we should all learn Spanish. I was thinking get really into Spanish and Cajun French. 'Cause nobody speaks fucking Spanish and not around me. My wife and I speak Spanish to each other all the time. 'Cause we went to fucking Mexico and you got to learn to talk a little bit, 'cause otherwise Mexico, you're going to end up getting your feet and toes cut off and stuffed in the back of a freezer truck and fed to pigs over time if you aren't able to speak the language. That was a joke about Mexican cartels. I don't if anybody. My feed must have been behind. I didn't lose sound. Well, fortunately, it wasn't that long. A good place to stay your time. Jesus. Hey, it's gonna be a tough sledding, man. Yeah. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Well, in the YouTube chat, I post links to everything we're talking about, and the New York Times has filed an FOIA request for Jack Smith's Volume 2 report. Yeah, the Constitution was removed from the websites. How are you in El Cuarto del Baño? How are you in the bathroom? So yeah, I know you're like, of all the fucking things, what does what mean? I'm sorry, Corey. God damn it. What does that mean? What do you mean? Feel like in the Twilight Zone? Phew. I mean, hmm. You know what it feels like? It feels like what is that the holographic speech? I can never remember from the Last Jedi where he talks about I'm at the Jedi Temple, all of the Jedi are lost. This message is for any remaining Jedi. We are part of the rebellion. I've been saying it. I've been saying it. Like I'm a fucking socialist. We need American Socialist Party. You know what I mean? It's way better for Democrats if they're arguing against socialism than fighting the right. They're losing that fight. if they have to argue against a socialist, they're going to want to work with us, and then the left dominates everything because we're sweeping up all of the voters that are I'm not voting Democrat or Republican anymore. How are yeah, I know. It said how are you in the bathroom? Like what the fuck? I'm fine in the bathroom. I piss and shit like a completely healthy adult. Oh, as far as requesting a report. Okay, Corey. Um, so that means, hey, New York Times. I don't know if the New York Times is who I want fucking doing that shit. Yeah, notoriety is not a synonym for fame. Just so everybody know, views does not make you popular. Just so everybody knows. Hey, I appreciate y'all when there's nobody here and it's just a few of us. You know, way more than I'll ever be able to handle a large, massive audience, right? Like a large, massive audience will get away from you, right? It'll be out of your fucking control. But like a small audience, like you have more of an impact over a smaller group of people. You know, you have more of a presence and an impact over like a smaller group of people. You know, I'm gonna tell that story again from last night where I've been best friends with a dude going on 11 fucking years. Okay, and he called me yesterday after all this shit happened, and he was upset. He's a black man from Brooklyn, New York. You can imagine if you're a black man from Brooklyn, New York. Yesterday was a pretty rough fucking day, especially when he was a pre-law. He's a pre-law grad from Indiana University, and so he called me yesterday, just like fuck, dude, this was rough. And I told him, you got to go through this to get to the next part. Like it's like the boss fight in a video game, man. It's gonna be fucking dark. It's gonna suck. And we had never talked about politics. We'd been best friends for a long fucking time, dude. I was at that dude's wedding. I've been there for him since he got fucking divorced. I was friends with him before he was with her and after and during. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah. So when your best friend calls you after all that shit happened yesterday and is like, "Man, that shit was fucking heavy." And he said, "We've been friends for 10 years and have never talked about politics." And I said, "That's funny. It never did come up, did it?" And I just blurted it out. I said, "Well, just so you know, I'm a socialist. So I want everyone to have universal health care, education, income, and housing." And he said, "Isn't it crazy that that's seen as radical?" And I said, "It is. It's insane to me that socialism is seen as radical. Just so you know, when you're on active duty in the military, you get a free place to live, free health care. If you serve more than 2 years and pay into the GI Bill, you get to use the GI Bill. There's education. And if you were to ever get injured or disabled and qualify, you get a monetary benefit. That's social income. And that's all paid for by taxes. So if you're a veteran and disabled and receiving benefits, not only were you part of a socialized military. Our military is socialist. You don't pay for health care, education, income, or housing while you're on active duty. I wonder what they were doing in the dark of the night we haven't heard about yet. Well, if there was ever a night to burn the midnight oil, my dear, if there was ever a night to spend all night trying to figure it out. I mean, somebody already is filed for impeachment. Yeah. Listen to Kelly. My brother was in the USMC and took advantage of the GI Bill and is now an anesthesiologist. That's a great fucking job. 3:45 p.m. yesterday. 4:45 yesterday? One of those two times. Austin. So like I said, I've told y'all justice does not move like you think it moves. Justice was not arresting Donald Trump yesterday. That was a volatile situation yesterday. I hope everybody understands that, like, Donald Trump had planned to make that a violent act. And it was violent. It was violent. His words were violent. He incited violence. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was telling Cassie. I already made a video on YouTube and I put it on Twitter or TikTok where I said, hey, on all meta tools, all left leaning search terms are being restricted. And on TikTok, hey, get off of these platforms. I'm not posting original content. I'm Jared Malott, buddy. Uh, what's my prediction for what? But yeah. Appreciate you. Just woke up. Yep. Yep. Already, first thing I put out is when I feel censored, I'm not going to be a part of that community. So, and we had to remove someone from our Discord um, on DOJ regarding Trump. All of it. What's my prediction? Okay, I'll tell you. So, Ken, I love music. I don't know if you guys have figured that out. We talk about music all the time. My favorite new song is called Man at the Garden. Question there. What is the pathway to get socialist or democratic socialists on the ballot next time? Enter races as a socialist. What we need is a website. We need merchandise. We need to get the word out, you know? I'm gonna start a clothing company called DFKY. So I'm looking to find people to do the heavy lifting. I need people that hear the mission and understand my purpose and that I'm saying, like, I'll be the CEO of DFKY. I will take a minimum salary forever, infinitely. Imagine if the CEO of Nike was a socialist and said, I'll take nothing. I'll work. I'll go work a full-time job elsewhere. I'll just be the CEO. I'll use my money power to influence policy. Clearly, we can buy policy. Here's how you do that. Right? Give all the money back to the employees, have it made in America, right? It's going to take great money power. It's going to take a great deal of buy-in. People are going to really have to put money behind it. And then as far as the American Socialist Party, the reason I suggest it is because of AI PAC and the fact that there are democratic socialists that received money from AI PAC, which means they are Israeli assets. And they are not for America. And on the right, it's entirely either Israeli or Russian assets. We must get foreign influence and corporations out of our politics ASAP. This means we need to get rid of Citizens United. Nah, we just need people with balls that are winners. The problem here's what happens. People that are winners don't be they're Democrats and they get tired of losing. So then they say fuck it, fuck morals. Let's go be a fucking hard let's go hard right. Okay? He's great. I love Bernie. He's old. He's not winning anything. Nobody's voting for him over Schiff, over fucking Gavin Newsom, over Cory Booker, right? And my problem is now that he's done, like I expect a lot of speaking out. I want to hear it. Now he's been inaugurated. So he's either going to be the president for the next 4 years or justice is coming. And so if you hear continued silence from people in positions of power, then you have to assume that justice is coming. What did we delete here? Not that I care. But yeah, people are asking me, what do I expect? Listen to Kendrick Lamar's Man at the Garden. I want it all. I'm very much a 0 or 100 person. You know what I mean? But yeah, I want to make sure that we're saying on my platform, hey, it's time to get rid of meta tools. Facebook, Threads, and IG, just get off it. Get it off your phone. Messenger, though, Messenger, Facebook Messenger, that probably the most pervasive app on your phone. Listen to me. Somebody looked at the code for Facebook Messenger. It takes information out of your private conversations and the information out of your private conversations, and that influences the algorithm across all meta apps. You have no expectation of privacy on Facebook at all, and Facebook Messenger will share your location data with the federal government. Get the fuck off of Facebook IG Threads. Delete Messenger from your phone. Stop using Twitter. Hey, I'm not posting original content on TikTok anymore. I'm going to post my original content on YouTube. I'm going to host my content on YouTube. Okay? So if you come out there and you're going to support me publicly, you need to tell people, "Hey, remember this guy that was hosting lives on TikTok getting 700 fucking people? Hey, now we're getting a couple hundred fucking people on here. The audience is migrating. Okay? It's time. It's time to only do business with people that are actually going to give you free speech." Yeah. TikTok has meta in the head. Yep. Get off the uh get off the old TikTok. Remember that you can't buy cool. Remember? Can't buy cool. You can't buy pretty. You know what I mean? A lot of people think they can buy pretty. And I just want to make sure I tell you that you can't buy pretty, you can't buy cool, you can't bear intelligence. Good to go? You can't just like Google it, bro. That's not how intel works. That's not how being intelligent works. It's insane. Hey, Maru, do you have an iPhone? I'm talking to one of my mods. Maru, do you have an iPhone? If it- Did she look away or some shit? See you, Jody. What happened to all of our data during that blackout? Yeah. Yeah. Hey, listen, I have an iPhone. I was able to delete that shit. And then listen, the next morning I woke up after that TikTok. Listen, this is what the order. Let me tell you about the order of operations. Yo, this is fucking crazy. Yo, listen, this shit. So what happened was TikTok went down, right? And I was like, hell no. And I went to fucking Facebook, Threads, IG, like I've been telling y'all, we got to get the fuck off these websites, get the fuck away. And I deleted Messenger. After the TikTok ban, people are like, I can't uninstall fucking Messenger. It was a fucking dude. They captured your data. They're trying. Here's what I've tried to tell people: stop trying to hide yourself. They have all of your information. It is information warfare. So stop posting on these sites. You got to be on YouTube. You got to be on Clapper, on Fanbase, on Neptune, on Skylight, Blue Sky too. Nah, they're not. They're getting denied because they have state charges. So good, Cats fan. Good. A lot of people are concerned about Donald Trump pardoning January Sixers. That's giving aid or comfort to the enemy thereof. That's literal treason. So if the people that he pardons accept a pardon, they're committing a crime by leaving. They're like it's conspiracy to commit treason up until the person leaves the jail. Once they leave, it's full blown treason, especially if they evade, if they try to escape the police or escape pursuit. Um, it's crazy time to be alive, man. Crazy time to be alive. But like I said, there's the rebellion is on. We are the resistance. Hey, now when you watch Star Wars, you're part of the resistance. You're not wishy-washy between stormtroopers being pretty fucking cool and the higher up you get in the fucking in the Imperial Army, the uniforms get cooler. Snap out of it, dog. Like you're part of the resistance. Trust me. That the people you're fighting against were standing in that fucking rotunda. The people you're fighting against are staying in that fucking. I believe it's still the eve of accountability. Yo, for sure, for sure. Hey, I did not sit here and tell you it was gonna be easy. I never said that one time, and I was certain to not tell you it was just gonna be easy. My name for the next 4 years would be Scotty. Yeah, it's time to be more secure with your information. You know, one thing that I started to see people do too much of is tell people exactly what they were going to do before they did it. Isn't he immune? From where? He's not in office. So here's the thing. Donald Trump took the oath of office, but he's not eligible. He's in violation of the 14th Amendment, Article 3, as soon as he said, I do. And everything that has happened since will be undone because the presidency was illegitimate. They weren't going to do that, not and cause a major catastrophe. Can you imagine? Donald Trump still takes the oath yesterday because that had to happen, except a bunch of people also die. Like that's no, no. I don't wish that they arrested him yesterday. They let him do it all. They let him. They let Elon Musk make the Nazi salutes. They let Donald Trump cling to the fucking podium at two different fucking speeches, and it was well over a fucking hour, and he had an unnatural level of fucking energy. It was because he wanted yesterday. Yesterday was their fucking acme. Yesterday was their peak. What are they going to do today? What the fuck could they possibly do today? They subverted fucking democracy and then basically undid democracy. What the fuck else are you going to do now? What are they going to do today? Holy fuck. Let all those MAGA that paid all that money that are already pissed. That are already pissed, by the way. Let them all go home. But one of the things that I heard, and don't take this as Bible, but take this as when multiple people observe it and you watch the video and you kind of observe that too. So Donald Trump is sitting in the Oval Office furiously signing all these orders, right? And if you watch, they cleared it out. They stopped it last night. They like stepped in on that. Like while he was signing all those orders undoing democracy, they stepped in on that. I don't know how to explain that to people that don't understand my language. They came in there and was like, "You're done. You've done enough." So I get it. I get it. He had the greatest single day that a fucking dictator on day one has ever had. He subverted democracy and completely tried to undo it. Understand that there will be legal challenge to all of those things and that he's not gonna be fucking president. His own handlers, Joanne. Yeah, Musk knew what he was doing. He was distracting you from the fact that Donald Trump took the oath of office yesterday and immediately was in violation of the 14th Amendment, Article 3. He's the head of the DOJ now. Where's the accountability come from? Who's the head of the DOJ? Yeah, he did exactly what he said he was going to do. Dictator on day one. Who's head of the Department of Justice? Can you speak on how executive orders are not immediately law? They're like wishes. I think a lot of people think they become a law immediately. Yeah, that's another thing. That's another thing. People think when you rescind a law or you sign an executive order into law, it's just effect. It's not a wand. You sign the fucking shit, and then some people got to make sure it's not fuck shit. You know what I mean? None of his cabinet members have been confirmed. It was a sham. Like, it was a show. It was a ceremony. If you actually like think this is the next 4 years of your life and probably this is forever, I'm just sorry to tell you that's not how this works. All of the people that are the head of all of the agencies and all of the positions that Donald Trump would look to terminate in order to prevent, he can't do that. He can't remove SecDef, they're gone. He can't remove the head of the FBI, they're gone. He can't remove Christopher Wray, he's gone. Jack Smith, gone. So Donald Trump's like first four targets of people that he would want to fire, they're gone. So all of the justice is coming, and all the people that he knows that he could fire, he don't know who that is. And there's orders of secession. Joe Biden, fucking foresight, orders of secession. All those people that he fired, all that did stick around, that Donald Trump fired, orders of secession. All those roles will be filled. Shock and all. Yep. The greatest single day display of fascism in American government history. Yeah. Remember, notoriety is not fame. I just want to make sure everybody knows this. As somebody who has never been very popular in their life, the more popular I become, the more heavy is the head that wears the crown type shit. Where you like, is it worth the potential danger? Did you take down links you posted about Trump's revocations? No. Some people are calling for them to call martial law in DC, use a military, overthrow the jail, let them out. Fucking crazy. Chatting with St. Gail got more depressed, sure. Take down links posted about Trump's revocation, no. So that Klobuchar was sitting in a car ride with him and Biden, sitting between Trump and Vance at the lunch. I was like, what the fuck? She's wearing a wire. Oh, okay. Or like people that he'll listen to. Yeah, because he'll work with certain people, especially like I bet you he worked with AOC. And again, I want to make sure that we say like the Nazi salute after Trump's confession the day before was planned. They were doing that to replace that story in the news. What's worse? What's worse? Donald Trump confessing to that Elon Musk rigged this election for me, or Elon Musk giving the fucking Nazi salute twice in a row the next day within 24 hours. Oh. Let me see if I can find that. But here on Reddit, on our news, you can scroll down through there. Yeah, go watch him. It was like 40-minute video where he was just furiously signing EOs, and at the very end, they came up and scooped up everything out from front of you like you're done. Yeah, that's one of the there's a reason that I started this show is because it was like there's people that are fucking scared and have questions, and they don't want to be on a podcast themselves. They don't want to put themselves in danger, right? Can't access from VPN. It's fucking crazy. Yeah. But you gotta understand, Saint Gale has a lot of a lot of expertise in constitutional law. So he has an advanced constitutional law degree, not a how law enforcement functions degree. She was chosen to be there like a mediator. I mean, what at this point it's like, what's the fuck up with? Yeah, Instagram's hiding search for Democrats. Get the fuck off Facebook, Threads, IG. Okay. Yeah, and ultimately Elon Musk threw up the Sieg Heil so that he threw up the Sieg Heil to get protection from them. Yeah, he gave aid or comfort to the enemy thereof. Like Elon Musk did that because he's afraid and he wants the protection of white supremacists. He's afraid of accountability, you know? You don't be if you aren't doing anything wrong, you shouldn't be afraid of accountability. You should work we should welcome accountability, you know? Yesterday I so one thing you're not going to do is come into my chat and sow negativity. It's okay to say that you're down, that you're depressed, that you're worried about people that don't look like you, but when you start saying Donald Trump's in power, there's nothing gonna happen to him, all that shit, it's like you don't fucking know how accountability works, baby. Newton's second law, right? Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Is that the second law? Is that Newton's second law? Objects in motion. No, it's not second law. It's fucking sure. That's force, acceleration, force, mass type shit. Is it third law? Yeah, it's Newton's third law. Sorry. Usually get it right. But yeah, every action has the equal and opposite reaction. So he did the Nazi salute indoors in a inside friendly confines with his little meat shield running around. And at some point, Elon Musk's gonna have to go outside. And I'm guessing at some point, he gets martyred. Yeah, my wife canceled Amazon. We're getting a refund. Father fought in World War II against that regime. He'd be rolling over in their grave to know that we're handing the country over to them. I've said it. I've said Fight Club. Okay, Fight Club is a movie, and all of these things have let generations of people down. So Fight Club, the movie, all these generations have been let down. The justice system doesn't work. Their capitalism doesn't work for them. The education system didn't work for them. Healthcare system doesn't work for them. And they're everywhere. They make your food. They park your car. They clean your house. They water your garden. They build on whenever you need something done. Fight Club. Hmm. Anarchy is where we are headed. I'm saying like socialism is the path. It doesn't have to be abject terrorism for infinity. right? But this is what happens when people that uh people try to both sides shit and stay on the middle, and they don't want to lose their audience. Yeah, it's because of No Child Left Behind. They intentionally made American kids dumber so that they'll vote Republican. And think about it, there's kids that are elected officials that the only reason they were able to graduate high school is because of No Child Left Behind. Yeah. Yeah, and one thing you got to understand is I don't spend a lot of my time on my platform shitting on Trumpers. Mm, okay. But yeah, I mean, shit is rough, bro. The Pentagon removed the portrait of General Mark Milley. What a fucking horrible person. Yeah, man. Not a big fan. If I'm being real honest, not a big fan. I don't agree with that. If you want to be mad at the traitorous right, I'm for it. But to both sides of this shit is fucking insane to me. Democrats put forth legislation to try to protect our elections. Republicans voted against it. People vote against their own self-interest, man. It's the story of our lives. They vote for them because they perceive to be in power. I look on the U.S. mission to NATO. Yeah, absolutely. Tax churches. Yeah, ADL. Yeah, he paid that off. Yeah, get the fuck out of Texas for sure. Don't live in. My wife and I are thinking about moving. I'm thinking about uh putting myself in a position to move. Maybe Michigan. Once I start making a bunch of money, shit's gonna pop. I'm not staying in Indiana. I'll get a job coaching and move. Maybe. Or just keep this job. Hey, Canada is probably not bad. Yeah, me too. I wonder what Kamala is doing today. Well, I can promise you that it's darkest before you see the light, and Karen Pence and Michelle Obama were not there yesterday. I think she is too. I think she was I think everybody was witness yesterday. You should listen to Daniela. She was a captain in the military and she's an author about extremism. There was a live feed bookshelf and they cut away. hmm I think you can hear someone say like they took the paper out from out in front of him and they said he was done and he didn't. That wasn't his end. That's I don't feel like that's that big of a deal. I'm just saying that there was not a very solid plan there. I don't know who Sarah Adams is. I don't really try not to spend a lot of my time watching content. One of the things that you'll never get from me is hear me say something that you've heard somebody else say. Like I'm not gonna be ever in a position to steal content because I'm not a consumer. I hate to say that. I stopped doing all that shit. I don't doom scroll. I don't doom scroll. I go find the news, find what happened, and I think about people that don't look like me. And I think, man, I would want to know this. I would want to know Meta Instagram, Facebook Instagram, Threads, Messenger. Get it off your phone. Twitter, get it off your phone. I'm not putting original content on TikTok anymore. My content will be coded messages trying to convert my audience. So if you want to help in the resistance, if you want to help me, I want to put all my eggs in the YouTube basket. I want to put all my eggs in the YouTube basket. Why? Because it's safe. His Adderall is about to lapse. It's funny. Wait. She was walking the rotunda. Yes, coming to bite on her to play today. Wait. Who said that? S&M. She was walking the rotunda. Yes, coming to Biden. They're plain as day. Yeah, this is not the time to give up. This is not the time to give up. Yeah, I'm a socialist. Fuck yeah, dude. I just want everybody to have universal health care, education, income, and housing. And anything that takes away, otherwise be very progressive. So all those progressive stances that everybody votes for, I'm for that, but I'm a socialist. And so like I'm not going to acquiesce. I'm not going to give up the socialist platform and I'm not going to buy into that will never happen. Instead, I'm going to create the American Socialist Party, be the farthest left. And again, we just want everyone to have universal health care, education, income, and housing. We're otherwise going to be very progressive. We're going to vote against things that hurt people. You want to be very accepting and open. Yeah. You came out of the political closet. Yeah. Well, I mean, I talked to my best friend about it yesterday. We'd never talked about politics. I just blurted it out. I'm a socialist. I just want everyone to have universal health care, education, income, and housing. And my best friend took a deep breath and said, "Isn't it crazy that that's not that extreme?" And I said, "And it has been considered extreme our entire lives to just I don't want everybody around me to die in a mountain of debt." You know, the end of my video this morning, I the last thing I said was, "Who were you before you were under the crushing weight of debt?" Like who were you before your student loans? Who were you before the mountain of debt that you've created for yourself? Did you have a path out or did you just take on debt, right? I think that everybody that sat on the opposite side, like, behind Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, I think they were all appalled. They were like watching it, like, holy shit. Like, Joe Biden's like, oh my God, like, oh my goodness gracious. Fucking George Bush was like, what the fuck? I mean, did you see fucking Hillary Clinton's like, I told you, motherfuckers. Like, I told you. Like, hey, yeah. And understand, everybody's like, how do you pay for it, Jared? How do you pay for socialism? Well, in Denver, Colorado, they already did this project for 2 years. They gave 500 families $500 on every Friday, and 42% of households produced either a college degree, a child, bought a house, or got married in that 2 year period. Think about how flourishing you would be if you had a couple more $1,000s a month more than you were making now. Does it completely get you to the point where now you're able to save money and put it back in case you have an emergency? You're able to get those tires you need on your car, your brakes fucking fixed, whatever fucking dumbass shit that happened. You can actually afford to do something about it, right? Canada makes it work. And here's what it costs. Here's what it costs. The average taxpayer, at the end of the year, they get a couple $1,000s back from the government. Consider that that's an overpayment and that really is just a tax-free loan that you give the government, your taxes. And at the end of the year, when you file for your taxes and they return money to you, understand that's because you overpay every year. Well, all it would cost is your overpayment, that $1,500 or $2,000, and then you'll save about $8,000+ a year on average. So if it's about money, we can pay for it by changing our tax code. We can also pay for it by federally legalizing marijuana and taking its taxes and ultimately with climate change, with the increased volatility in the weather. um, Big farms are not great, but gardens are great. And with the climate drying out, cannabis is actually really easy to grow in a dry, hot environment, which is what we're creating with climate change. And so not only could you pay for socialism with a little bit of a tax policy, but you could pay for socialism by federally legalizing cannabis and making it our cash crop nationwide and putting a challenge on all 50 states and like grow that shit. Make hemp product, make marijuana product. We can change that in every 2 to 4 years. We can change it inside of a decade. It's worth it. And again, the way I would think about it is you've got to get a president in office first that's open to that, and then they just start putting out shit. I want to federally legalize marijuana. I want to fucking, you know what I mean? I want socialism. I want all these things. If the president ain't saying it, it's not happening. We're in 30 days right now after a 45-day period. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what I think. Okay? Are you ready? We're in the last 45 days. So it's 30, 40, it's 40, 35, 45. It goes 45, 30, 45. So I'd been saying that what was 90 days? Hey Siri. No, can't do it while I'm live. Okay. What is 90 days from November 5th, 2024? February 3rd. Okay. Well, I want to say this because I didn't say it, but I don't like to argue with people when I feel like I'm right and there's just an overwhelming number of people telling me that I'm wrong. I'm just gonna be like, you know what, fuck it, you can have it. It's not even worth it to me. But again, I had said it's 45, 45, 30, and I got shit on. So fuck all of y'all. I'm going to stick with what I said. And I said from moment one, it's 45, 45, 30. And so the after December 20th, the next relevant date is fucking February 3rd. But nobody wants to listen to me. Everybody just ran with what everybody else said. And I was like, wait, that's not what I was. Fuck it. It isn't even that relevant. Like it's either real or it's not. It's real. Okay, then we need to figure out how to read it. Okay? Because I had said if you read in America, we read fucking left to right, top to bottom. And when you read that motherfucker left to right, top to bottom, it's fucking 45, 45, and fucking 30. It's called A, E, and F. Tell me I'm fucking wrong. Tell me I'm fucking wrong. It goes 45, 45, 30 because the last one is 30. So everybody wants to freak out. But read that motherfucker top to bottom, dude. We read it on my live podcast. I read it word for word and I said 45, 45, 30 from day one. And I got absolutely fucking shit on. Why? It's because people can't handle it that I'll just tell you the truth. That I'll just show you the link. That I'll just read it to you word for word. Motherfuckers can't handle the truth. Is that a few good men? But I tried to say 45, 45, 30, and people were just not having it. Oh, dude, I'm telling you, if I thought this shit was fucking over, somebody would have come out by now. Oh my god, this shit fucking sucks. We're all gonna fucking die. Somebody would have done that already. Nobody's done that though. I mean, I don't feel like somebody's done that. Don't you think somebody should come out and say, "Hey, it only listen, I'm not trying to fear monger anyone. I'm just trying to say I'm just trying to be truthful about some shit. You can't handle the truth. It's fucking true. Yeah. Very emotional kind of person. I'm not crying myself either. Nah, I watched that shit and I was watching body language. I was watching I was watching body language and I was just like the people closest to Donald Trump were so angry with him. Look at Melania. Melania's fucking face, dude. And the way she walked up there with the Bible, like, put your hand on the Bible. And he didn't. It was just like, what the fuck is going on, bro? Is he the Antichrist? So yeah, I get it, man. Everybody's out here struggling. There's a reason I hopped on here late last night and I never said a word about money. I didn't say shit. I was here for people that don't look like me. I can't imagine fucking going through that shit, seeing all them fucking orders fucking pass and not feeling like you're being fucking targeted. I think they let him do all that because it was Martin Luther King Day. Israeli military's chief of staff resigns over failure to prevent Hamas October 7th attack. So there's Benjamin Netanyahu scapegoating the Israeli military's chief of staff. That's from CNN 3 minutes ago. Pam Hemphill, a January 6er, who has since expressed serious regret for what she did, says she will not accept a pardon from President Trump. She quoted, "I committed a crime." And I want to make sure that Democrats, all you Democrats, you hardcore Democrats that are sitting in my comments thinking like we're going to ally with socialists, just understand that I think that the reason Kamala Harris lost this election and didn't win this shit in a fucking landslide is because she didn't break with Joe Biden on her Gaza policy. Free Palestine, fucking Slava Ukraini, you're right? Black Lives Matter, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? If you're not sticking up for the oppressed people, don't expect oppressed people to come out and fucking vote for you. Them's just the fucking breaks. You got to have all of the correct policy positions. It's not hard to say getting policy to pass is about being having popular policy, not being a populist. I don't want to be popular. I want what I do to be popular. I want socialism to be accepted, right? So I don't care about me. I care about y'all. Like I get socialism. I am subject to it. I'm a disabled veteran. I get free health care. The downside is that shit's a half hour away. If I have a fucking heart problem, I'm fucked, right? I get education. I got a degree using the GI Bill. I'm getting VRNE. I'm gonna get a fucking teaching degree. I'm gonna go be a STEM teacher, professor. Okay? Well, in addition to that shit, fucking I also uh get enough money that it pays my mortgage. So I have housing. And it's a little bit of an overpayment. So maybe like a couple $100. There I get a little income. So I'm subject to socialism, but at what cost? At what cost? I can barely use my right arm. I have severe PTSD. That's what it costs? Nah, not in my country. Nah, where I'm from. And instead of me pulling up the ladder behind me and climbing on my spaceship, right, as my life gets good, remember, I told you, I found out while I was on a live podcast that I just got the highest paying job I'll ever have. And I still feel the same fucking way. Reliable NES sources? What is NES sources? Like Hubert Humphrey in 1968 not parting with LBJ on Vietnam policy that helped Nixon win. Yeah, you have to have popular policy when it comes to anything outside of straight up socialism. hmm and it wins. It wins. People vote for that. They'll vote for people that are planning to do that. In the pocket of big pharma. But yeah, yesterday was a federal holiday, and so I think what happened yesterday doesn't actually like the end of business today would be when anything could happen. It's like yesterday was a weekend day. I know people don't want to hear that shit, and people are like, it's over. But it's like, get the fucking boot off your face, dust yourself off. Like, the fuck are you on? Nah, here's the thing. The Jews aren't against the Palestinian people. That's one of the things that I have to stop you and say like you're creating enemies that aren't our natural enemies. The Palestinian people and the Jewish people living in Gaza were living peacefully, and the IDF, the Israeli Defense Forces, it's like a military police, w- basically agitated that community of people to the point where Hamas gathered enough intel and resources to commit a terrorist attack. I just did. The Jewish people and the Palestinian people are not enemies. Jews are not inherently violent. Israelis are inherently violent, but the Jewish people are peaceful people. They're much better than Christians, that's for sure. But yeah, the Jews and Palestinians are not enemies. It's the Israeli people. It's the rogue city state. If you play Civilization, you can take Israel from being a superpower and make them into a city state, as they should be. They should be just a rogue city state. Get them out of fucking NATO. Fuck them. Nothing. They promised they'd do it too. Democrats have been promising my whole life that they would be more socialist, and they didn't do it. They towed the fucking center. They tried to pull from the right. The right wants America to fail. No, you're fine. I'm not mad at nobody. I feel no type of way. It's the Israeli government. Yeah. So understand that. What time is it? It's 9:30. It's a half hour before I got to go to work. All right. So I hope if anything that you were able to get something out of this. We shared the news, right? We talked about what was pressing and important. And what's pressing and important is that your First Amendment rights are being suppressed on meta tools. And I'm not the kind of person to let myself be the victim of abuse. Okay? I'm not the kind of person to make myself a victim of abuse. I'm the kind of person to call out the abuser, and I'm not fucking with them people. So every day we listen to uh, war to start and eat the rich to end. So this is Aerosmith's "Eat the Rich." This is one of the first albums I ever bought. The first CD I ever bought was Crisscross Totally Crossed Out. I was a young kid living in outside Chicago. I'm gonna support Chicago rap. I love Common. I loved Kanye West. Um, he's a fucking turd. Although I do still fuck with UOENO. That's one of my favorite songs. Yeah. And do not bend the knee, kiss the ring, lick the boot. Don't do that shit. Yeah. Download the Goods Unite Us app. GUU. G- do not put your money in companies that give money to right-leaning politicians. Get rid of Amazon. Illinois in the house. What's up? Yeah, I'm from Geneva. I played Little League sports against Batavia, St. Charles, Aurora, Peoria. Yep, I grew up in Randall Square in Geneva, right up against a big ass. Use that up. You. Yep. Well, I hope you enjoyed the show. Like I said, you're close to Geneva. Oh, crazy. Um, and hey, if you'd like to support me and my content, um, I try to save this part for the last. Probably, if I really gave a fuck, I'd ask more earlier. And instead, I'll say, hey, if you're sticking around and you want to support me and my content, here's my PayPal. Hey, eat the rest. Only one thing about your ball, eat the rest. Come on. Eat the rest. Oh, you missed a lot of shit. Love rage. Humble pie. You been back to riches. All of their neighbors took their flags down. Like their Trump flags down? On my chest, the rats. One night now, bit up the rest. Yeah. Going crazy. Good time, baby.